Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. The update we have today is truly unprecedented and massive. If you currently hold the Iraqi Dinar, you should absolutely stay engaged until the final moments of this video. We have unequivocally reached a critical turning point for the Iraqi Dinar in this current year of 2025, and for the very first time, the definitive, official guidelines detailing precisely how your currency holdings can be exchanged have been fully published and verified. This information is no longer based on mere speculation or circulating rumors. It is formally confirmed, highly structured, and completely official. If you proceed with prudence and remain accurately informed, this process could radically alter your financial future. Therefore, continue watching because by the end of this broadcast, you will have a clear understanding of the immediate next steps, why this moment is critically important, and exactly how you should prepare yourself for the imminent rollout. We begin our comprehensive analysis with the official, groundbreaking announcement. Earlier in the current week, a highly authoritative government publication released the final, mandatory decree that the central banking system will utilize to process and exchange all Iraqi dinar holdings. This singular action signifies truly unprecedented, pivotal moment. The entire currency revaluation process is no longer a distant, theoretical hope, but now represents a fully tangible, actionable pathway. According to the specific details within this final decree, the mandatory rules explicitly cover the precise exchange rate methodology, stipulate which financial institutions are formally authorized to handle the complex transactions, and outline the exact documentation requirements for all legitimate holders like you. All the previous partial statements and vague leaks are entirely gone. What remains is a protocol that is firm, legally formal, and fully actionable. Certain financial insiders suggest that the published rate aligns precisely with the figures many within the holding community have long been anticipating. This strong alignment signifies that we are definitively no longer operating in a purely waiting and watching mode. This is the confirmed, final execution phase. Let us now systematically analyze the core components of this landmark announcement. First, consider the official mechanics of the exchange rate. While the public communique tilde copyright carefully avoids publishing the final, specific number, the rules clearly mandate that the rate will be applied consistently and uniformly across all approved exchange channels, determined by the verified status of the currency holder. What this specifically ensures is that if your holdings are fully documented and officially recognized, you will be processed at the verified, official rate, completely disregarding any lower speculative figures that may have been circulated previously. Next, the authorized locations for exchange. Only those financial institutions and banks explicitly approved by the central governing authority will be legally permitted to execute this process. This provision is absolutely critical because it effectively eliminates all unofficial brokers, unverified dealers, and internet-based exchange schemes. Third, clear transaction limits have been formally established. You will encounter explicit thresholds governing the maximum amount of dinar you are permitted to exchange within a specified period, and these limits will naturally vary based on the specific category of the holder, institution versus individual, and their particular level of verification. Lastly, the stringent documentation requirement. You must submit all valid government identification, concrete proof of purchase, ownership, official bank statements, or original purchase receipts before your exchange request can be formally cleared and processed. Now, let us discuss why this particular announcement holds such paramount importance. For multiple years, the dedicated dinar holding community has been urgently seeking official, verifiable clarity. We have been inundated with circulating rumors, broken promises, and frequently flip-flopping statements, yet nothing was ever truly concrete. Now, with the final rules officially published, there is a clear, definitive structure in place. This strongly indicates that the government is fully committed, and all necessary preparations are rapidly moving forward. All major financial institutions and banks now possess the complete operational game plan. All verified currency holders now have a definitive roadmap to follow. The substantial uncertainty that has clouded the entire process is now giving way to a known, verified protocol. When this critical shift occurs, global markets inevitably respond positively. Confidence in the currency builds rapidly. The dinar's substantial potential value begins to transition from theoretical to tangible reality. This does not automatically guarantee instant financial windfalls, but it does mean that you are no longer in a state of financial limbo. You now have a clear understanding of exactly what actionable steps to take and when to execute them. That specific clarity alone is a fundamental game changer. Let us cautiously discuss the expected numbers. Although the official government document stops just short of formally declaring the final, precise exchange rate, numerous insider sources strongly suggest that the rate designated for all properly verified holders will be drastically higher than the current open market trading rate. Specific figures being frequently cited are currently positioned in the general range of 370 to 410 dinar per single US dollar, though the definitive exact rate may still undergo slight refinements due to internal liquidity assessments, institutional involvement, and final assessments. If these numbers are accurate, This is profoundly significant because many holders have been using significantly lower market figures for their calculations. The official rate alignment implies that your holdings could potentially be processed at a valuation rate far superior to what you may have realistically anticipated. However, you must always remember that until the first batch of actual exchanges is successfully executed, some precise details may still require internal refinement, but the overarching point remains clear. The announced framework signals a significant upward shift in the official value conversation. Next, we must clarify precisely who is eligible to exchange. According to the formally published rules, the new system rigorously differentiates between three main categories of holders: individual verified holders, corporate or institutional holders, and finally, authorized banks and dealers. For individual holders, you must have legally acquired the dinar through officially authorized channels and possess the ability to produce valid, concrete proof of that initial purchase. For large institutions, a completely separate mechanism applies, typically demanding comprehensive corporate accounts, business documentation, and rigorous auditing trails. For authorized dealers and banks, these are the only entities legally permitted to process high-volume bulk exchanges and are therefore subjected to intense regulatory oversight. The message conveyed is absolutely unambiguous: your currency holdings must be secured within the proper, regulated hands, and the entire transaction process must proceed exclusively through the correct, official channels. If your dinar is held with an unapproved dealer or currently resides in a non-verified account, the risk of formal exclusion remains a tangible reality. Let us now walk through the anticipated transaction sequence as officially defined within the decree. Step 1. Full verification. You must present your valid government ID and provide comprehensive proof of dinar ownership. This includes bank statements, purchase receipts, or a documented chain of custody. Step 2. Submission. This occurs at the formally approved bank location or via the secure digital portal officially designated by the central banking system. Step 3. Rate application. The approved institution then legally applies the official, mandatory exchange rate based on your verified status as a legitimate holder. Step 4. Fund transfer. Your successfully converted funds are securely deposited into your designated personal bank account or a secure digital wallet, strictly as permitted under the final rules. This entire sequence is highly structured and tight. This is not the Wild West. This system is specifically designed to safeguard the broader currency system and protect all legitimate holders by mandating complete documentation, verification, and accountability at every stage. Timing is now the single most critically important factor. According to the final decree, all formally approved institutions are expected to achieve complete operational readiness by mid-November 2025. From that precise date forward, all verified exchanges will commence rolling out systematically. Subsequently, in December 2025, a much wider access rollout is anticipated. Once the new systems have been thoroughly stress-tested and the initial batches of exchanges have been successfully processed, the clear implication for you now is the essential time to systematically prepare all your official paperwork, get all your currency holdings fully in order, meticulously double-check your original purchase documentation, and compile the list of formally approved banks. Waiting until the system is officially live may still be possible, but being completely prepared before the launch offers you a significant advantage. Be mentally prepared to act immediately because once the launch window officially opens, the system will rigidly adhere to the precise timeline set forth by the official rules. The highly positive aspect of this news is this: this official announcement dramatically reduces uncertainty, which has been the single greatest risk faced by all dinar holders. When you clearly know the rules, you can execute a plan. Knowing the expected timeline allows you to focus your efforts. Knowing that your documentation must be complete enables you to act proactively and decisively. With all these critical elements now firmly established, the broader financial forces begin to move in your favor. Global investors and large banks observe formal, binding regulation. The currency quickly gains significant credibility, and all the previous speculative pressures may finally subside. This does not instantly translate to overnight riches, but it absolutely means that the fundamental structural foundations are now shifting to directly favor all holders who are both verified and prepared. However, with great opportunity always comes essential caution. The rules explicitly state that only formally authorized institutions and banks are legally permitted to handle these exchanges. This unequivocally means that any online scheme, private dealer, or so-called exclusive early access offer that claims they can process an exchange outside the official system is virtually guaranteed to be a financial scam. We have extensively documented prior years of fraudulent offers and fake exchange centers. This time, the official message is absolutely unambiguous. Do not trust any unverified channels. Only use the official, approved banks officially listed by the central authority, and you must demand documented proof of their formal approval status. The comprehensive system being implemented is specifically intended to safeguard the currency's integrity and simultaneously protect all legitimate, verified holders from malicious, fraudulent actors. Next, we examine the broader economic implications arising from this structured exchange process. The entire currency system within Iraq is now designed to achieve rapid stabilization rather than being plunged into chaotic speculation. When the operating rules are completely clear, institutions are properly regulated, and the government sets firm rules, global financial confidence dramatically increases. International financial institutions and large global banks may now take the dinar much more seriously as a vital part of Iraq's economic structure. That favorable shift, in turn, can potentially lead to wider market access, greater liquidity, and a fundamentally stronger position for the dinar in global trade. The leap from being a sidelined currency to a fully recognized, strictly regulated financial instrument is a tremendous victory for you as a holder. This new reality means you are now an integral part of something far larger than your individual position. You are participating in a financial system that is fundamentally shifting. In another dimension, consider investor preparedness. By officially announcing these rules well ahead of the full operational rollout, the government is providing all holders with ample time to fully ready themselves. This critically means you are not being blindsided by sudden announcements. Holders now have a window of several weeks to fully compile their purchase proof, meticulously verify their full documentation, confirm that they are partnering with the correct approved bank, and thoroughly familiarize themselves with the entire sequence of steps. This generous lead time is exceedingly rare in major global currency events. It signifies that you can act intentionally and strategically, rather than being forced to react chaotically. That prepared advantage is essential because once the system goes officially live, fraud mitigation, necessary corrections, and logistical delays may cause you to strongly prefer being among the first in line. Let us now focus on the essential, practical steps you must immediately take as a dinar holder. First, meticulously compile all your documentation. Gather every purchase receipt, all relevant bank statements, all documentation of the chain of custody, and any legal proof demonstrating your dinar was acquired through officially authorized channels. Second, clearly identify which specific banks in your local region are formally approved by the central authority to successfully handle dinar exchanges. Contact them directly, ask precise questions, and officially verify their current status. Third, ensure your government-issued ID is current and valid. Confirm that all your necessary bank accounts are active, and verify that all regulatory requirements in your specific jurisdiction for foreign currency exchange have been completely satisfied. Fourth, maintain extreme vigilance. Rely exclusively on official, government-issued communications, central bank releases, and verified financial media sources. If any person or entity offers you early access exchange outside the officially approved list, immediately walk away. Now, let us update the community on the specific timeline milestones. As of today in 2025, this major announcement has initiated a profound shift from passively waiting for revaluation to actively preparing for execution. The entire system has moved definitively from a mere concept to imminent, structural rollout. Mid-November is the anticipated live date for all verified exchanges. That specific window is only weeks away. December will mark the broader access window, following necessary stress testing of the systems. It is crucial to closely track this timeline because once the banks are live, every delay can cost you time, and immediate preparation will ensure you have swift, clean passage once the gates formally open. We must also briefly reflect on the historical context. Since the dinar holding community first began anticipating a revaluation, the entire discussion has been dominated by unofficial leaks, pervasive rumors, and sheer speculation, entirely lacking necessary structure and clarity. That has now permanently changed. The central bank's official decree shifts the focus entirely from if to when and how. This is a truly historic moment for all dinar holders because you are no longer merely hoping for a revaluation. You now possess a defined, formal process to execute. The pathway ahead is now substantially clearer. The necessary means to complete the process are now defined. That fundamental change alters everything on a structural, psychological, and financial level. Another essential point. This announcement dramatically increases transparency, and robust transparency naturally builds trust. When the rules are known by the government, the rules are known by the banks, and the rules are known by the holders, the entire system becomes dramatically less susceptible to malicious misdirection, fraud, and manipulation. For the dinar community, this new structure means you are now operating within a legitimate ecosystem that directly strengthens your overall position, measurably improves your odds, and beyond your individual situation it significantly strengthens the dinar's standing in global finance. For any currency to transition from niche status to credible global participant, this level of formal structure is absolutely vital. But we must also maintain a sense of realism. While this announcement is overwhelmingly positive, it is not an instant payday for everyone. Several variables still exist. We must still await the final, definitive confirmation of the exact rate, the detailed operational procedures from each individual bank, and the successful execution of the very first conversions. There remains a possibility of technical corrections or unexpected delays. Some banks may encounter unforeseen logistical or regulatory hurdles. Holders whose verification is not yet complete may be required to wait for the broader December rollout window. Therefore, while you must act with great urgency, you must also act with extreme diligence. Do the necessary preparation work now so that you will be completely ready when the entire system officially opens. Let us consider a positive scenario projection. Assume you are a fully verified holder who meticulously prepared your documentation in advance. In mid-November, when the approved banks formally go live, you successfully submit your holdings. The official rate is immediately applied, and your converted funds are securely deposited into your bank account. This means you successfully converted your dinar holdings under structured, ideal conditions, completely avoiding process ambiguity, fraud risk, and speculation. You successfully timed your complete preparation to perfectly coincide with the system's launch. In stark contrast, imagine being unverified, working with an unapproved dealer, or being delayed in your submission. You would face significant delays, heightened risk, potential exclusion, and possibly a substantially lower rate. The difference between these two outcomes is stark. That is why this current window of preparation is absolutely critical. Let us also briefly examine the significant implications for the wider dinar holding community. Individuals who have faithfully held their currency for years, perhaps even decades, can now finally see a clear, tangible path forward. The true significance here is not merely about one person's successful exchange. It is about the massive conversion event as a whole. When thousands of fully verified holders successfully convert their dinar under the official, structured system, the sheer collective movement immediately sends a powerful signal to all global markets. This currency is actively moving. As that collective momentum builds, it will invariably influence how governments, investors, and banks worldwide perceive Iraq's overall economy, and it will undoubtedly shift all perceptions of value and risk surrounding the dinar. Simply put, your individual transaction is a crucial part of a much larger, active financial ecosystem. Now, we must address the critical scam risk in greater detail because it is too important to overlook. The new rules explicitly bind all exchanges to formally approved institutions and banks. This means any platform or individual that claims they can facilitate special, preferential, or early access exchanges at rates higher than the official rate, or attempt unofficial bulk conversions, is operating entirely outside the established framework. Historically, the dinar space has been plagued by such false claims. With this new decree, the official message is perfectly plain: they are not authorized. Therefore, your absolute best protection is to strictly adhere to the proper verification process. Demand your bank provide proof of its approval, meticulously record all correspondence, and absolutely avoid anyone who pressures you to act before the official, regulated process begins. When the official system is live, you will immediately recognize the difference in legitimacy and clarity. Another important layer, the timing of this announcement perfectly aligns with Iraq's comprehensive economic and fiscal calendar. With the formal rollout scheduled for November and December 2025, it directly intersects with the country's meticulous planning for the 2026 budget, potential advancements in digital currency, and growing international investment interest. This signifies that this is much more than just an isolated currency exchange event. It is an integral part of a much broader, deep structural shift occurring within Iraq's entire financial system. For all holders, this context is profoundly positive. It means your holdings are not merely being exchanged in isolation, they are contributing to a massive transformation of the entire financial architecture, and this context can support stronger overall outcomes. So, here is your simplified, actionable checklist once more. 1. Fully verify your currency holdings. 2. Prepare all your proof of purchase documentation and ID. 3. Identify your approved bank and confirm your account is fully ready for the incoming funds deposit. 4. Stay current on all launch timing and official operational bulletins from the central authority. 5. Completely avoid all too good to be true offers and unverified channels. 6. Be mentally ready to act in mid-November when the system opens for verified holders, and closely monitor the December rollout phase for broader access. If you meticulously execute all these steps, you will be in the optimal position to successfully capitalize on this critical moment. Now, let us briefly address a few common holder questions. What if my dinar was purchased through a third-party dealer, group, or club that was not officially authorized? The answer: you may still have a potential path, but you must ensure you can fully document the chain of custody and definitively verify that your purchase adheres to all legal requirements. The approved banks will ultimately determine on a case-by-case basis how to process such holdings. What if I am currently living abroad? You will be personally required to check your local regulations concerning cross-border transfers, foreign currency import, export, and bank compliance within your specific host country. What about holdings that remain in physical form, under someone else's name, or in storage? You must ensure you possess clear, documented legal rights and ownership. These are the precise technical details that your approved bank will rigorously scrutinize. Let us conclude by considering the long-term implications. If this new system functions with transparency and efficiency, and all exchanges are processed at the official, announced rates, the dinar is highly likely to rapidly gain massive international credibility. This means that, over time, it may become more actively traded, more widely held, and perhaps significantly more stable in its value. For all verified holders who act decisively now, you are positioning yourselves not merely for the immediate exchange event, but for profound future structural benefit. In this sense, this is far more than a simple transaction. It is a strategic financial move. Remember, the vast difference between preparation and panic is enormous. Being fully prepared places you significantly ahead of the curve. Before we conclude, I must strongly emphasize this point. If you receive information from any source claiming you can secure a preferential rate or special access outside of the official, regulated system, you must remain extremely skeptical. The enforcement of these new rules will be exceptionally strict because the government is actively signaling its intent to monitor, regulate, and enforce full compliance. Being non-compliant could render your holdings ineligible, or subject you to much lower rates, significant delays, or even worse penalties. Therefore, do not gamble. Use the official system. Be ready. Be patient. In summary, this groundbreaking government announcement marks a decisive turning point. The mandatory rules for exchanging all Iraqi dinar holdings have been officially revealed. Only formally authorized banks will execute the process. Full verification is now a mandatory requirement. Rate guidance has been issued. The operational timing has been clearly established. Mid-November and onward. This is no longer a distant, theoretical promise. It is now your confirmed, actionable roadmap. If you have held your dinar for years, now is the decisive moment to prepare comprehensively. Compile your documentation, confirm your chosen bank, entirely avoid unofficial channels, and be completely ready for when the official system launches. Thank you sincerely for watching today's video. If you found this update valuable, please ensure you hit like, share this information with others in the community, and subscribe immediately if you have not already done so, because critical updates like this will continue to emerge rapidly, and you must not miss a single one. Stay safe, stay ready, and stay smart. This could potentially be the single most crucial moment in your entire dinar holding journey. I will see you in the next video.